On this episode of Connected Nation, I take you back to the Broadband Nation Expo taking place in Orlando, Florida. This time, we talk with a company that's actually inviting customers to see what they're doing behind the scenes to connect everyone. I'm Jessica Denson, and this is Connected Nation. I'm at the Broadband Nation Expo taking place in Orlando, Florida, and I keep running over to this booth that is Tarana Wireless. I've been looking for one gentleman that I saw on a panel yesterday that I thought was fantastic. His name is Carl Guardino, right? Did I say it right?
Carl Guardino.
Guardino.
The Italian.
Guardino, yes. I feel like if I put my hand like an Italian gesture, Guardino, I got it. He is the VP of Global Government Affairs, and I loved your panel yesterday, which is why I've been trying to chase you down ever since. Thank you for joining us.
Jessica, thank you. I'm a big fan of Connected Nation.
Oh, we're a big fan of you guys. I've heard that some of my colleagues are going to get to go on a technology tour. Is that true?
Yes. Over the last 18 months, Tarana Wireless has been hosting live technology deployment demonstrations, 38 states, 98 tours, because when you've made the impossible possible with technology, people deserve to kick the tires, ask hard questions, and experience it for themselves.
I would agree with you. And what a great idea. What a great visual. You're going to have to get me on that tour so I can take some pictures and take part in that. Yeah. That's just, so when you go on a technology tour, I'm putting air quotes out there. What is that exactly? Are you getting to see them dig dirt? What is it?
In 60 minutes or less, we started a tower site where you're hearing from usually a local or regional internet service provider, ISP partner, that you probably know in your community. So you know their reputation, where they talk about for some of their deployments why they have picked Tarana Wireless as their technology partner. And so we go into depth there for 20, 25 minutes. Then we drive to a family or a business where they are in an unvarnished way, sharing their experience before Tarana Wireless and since Tarana Wireless.
Smart, yeah.
It's great because you're hearing from real families in their living rooms or on their front porch of what it truly has meant to their lives and livelihoods to truly be connected.
And have you heard some stories that have surprised you, or are you like, oh no, I knew this was coming?
Yes, 98 live tech deployment demonstrations in 38 states. I've only been chased down the street once by a dog, and it's been incredible. The mom with her two children literally crying about her experience during COVID of being completely unconnected while trying to make sure her kids still had an education, and then being on Tarana Wireless. Or the small business owner in Southern California who is able to stay open and connected. Or the rural school in beautiful Tuolumne County, Northern California, surrounded by trees, that is able to still educate kids in this literally one-room schoolhouse for 40 kids because of Tarana Wireless. It's both fulfilling and affirming that we're meeting needs in tribal, rural, suburban, and urban America.
I was really struck by you on the panel. There were some things that were said that were, I won't throw anybody under the bus, but they were a little questionable in my mind about the need that people don't need to learn to use the internet still, that everybody knows how to use it. Some things like that were said. But having said that, you seem to approach every question and every agreement or disagreement with a smile on your face, engaging the next person, and seem to bring it back to the human element. Why is that so important to you?
You know, I try to live by a philosophy that we should listen, learn, and then lead. And if we're not willing to hear people out, how are we ever going to grow or even just have our own assumptions challenged? And that was an opportunity yesterday. But in terms of the point that one of the panelists was making, it was a little bit of a head scratcher for me as a non-technologist, because if I'm suddenly provided with a new technology, whether that's a laptop or a cell phone or or even a new car, that doesn't mean I know how to use that technology.
Right.
So we try to meet people where they are and bring them to where they need to be.
Mhm. Let's talk about Tarana Wireless and where you guys are. You named a bunch of different states. What's your footprint? Is it just national? Is it global? And what is your vision?
Thank you. Toronto Wireless is just a fascinating story. It was three young, brilliant, big hearted, yet naive PhD graduate
Uh-huh.
students who did their PhD thesis together. They wanted to help impoverished villagers in Ghana, in Africa, where none of them were from. So they did their PhD thesis, they got an A, and they started a company because that's what we do with America's innovation.
That's amazing. Uh-huh.
Fast forward, the first 13 years was all research and development.
Uh-huh.
And I don't say that lightly. It was $425 million, all privately funded. They refused government funds, research and development, and a lot of near-death experiences that any company goes through, especially in the innovation economy, and they stuck to it. They had a dream. Their first deployment was a village in Ghana to help impoverished villagers. They kept their word.
That's
Kept their word.
awesome.
Today, just 4 years since Toronto Wireless has been commercially available, we're serving families and communities in just 4 years, 28 countries, 47 of the 50 states in the United States, 3 of the 5 U.S. territories, 425 internet service provider partners, and we now 20 million homes passed, 250,000 people on our technology, adding 2,000 families every single month.
So that research and development paid off, I think.
It really did.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it, for a small company, we're 31 PhDs, 300 engineers, 425 employees, and 1 political science major. That would be me.
That you, yeah.
Yes. But we pour $80 million a year into ongoing research and development. So our initial product, called not that creatively, the G1, the Generation 1, is capable of subscriber speeds of 800 megabits per second.
Wow.
In either CBRS, which is licensed, or 5 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz, which is unlicensed. One radio on a tower can serve in a 90-degree angle up to 256 homes and businesses. So if you're blessed to have customers all the way around the tower, 4 radios, 1,000 people from one vertical asset.
That's why you were able to scale so much so quickly
and so cost effectively.
Yeah.
Too. So not only 800 megabits per second, however your ISP provider and you as a customer want to slice and dice a plan. But when we are direct line of sight, forget the euphemism last mile. We go 20 miles.
Wow.
When we're near line of sight, temporary obstructions, 10 to 12 miles. When we're like my house at the base of a redwood forest in Northern California,
nice,
completely obstructed with permanent or temporary obstructions.
Those massive trees.
Yeah. And impervious to weather, rain, snow, etc., 3 to 5 miles.
Wow.
That type of speed. So my plan at home for the 5 members of the Guardino family, 530 by 200 megabits per second, a latency of 13 milliseconds, well under the 100 milliseconds that will keep your gamer kids from
happy and
exactly, or buffering. And it's just amazing. And it's a third of the cost of the technology provider that we had before Tarana.
So let's talk about the technology itself. Is it just a device that you put on towers or put on things that are there? Do you put towers up as well, or do you partner with other groups? How does it work?
Thank you. So we're a technology company. And our technology is our custom silicon chip. And our software, we don't use other people's software, which is why we're able to not have the limitations of legacy fixed wireless, which had and has its place. We never put others down to lift ourselves up. But next generation fixed wireless is able to, therefore, do non-line of sight. It's able to cancel or mitigate interference because there's a lot of interference in both licensed and unlicensed spectrum. And we don't do it by jamming others. We're not bad neighbors. We null it, we quiet it so that those conversations are still going on, if you will, and ours are going on uninterrupted. It's part of the secret sauce of what these brilliant 31 PhDs have created. So our G1, 800 megabits per second, nulls interference. One radio, 90 degrees, can serve up to 256 families, businesses, churches, schools, etc. Our G2, which we just launched on September 4th, doubles all of that.
Oh, wow.
So
Exciting.
instead of one radio serving 256, it serves up to 512 in a 90-degree angle. It's both our licensed and unlicensed radio into one product. And it doubles the speed from 800 megabits per second to 1.6 gigabits.
So the next innovation, they're already looking for the next innovation. That's fantastic.
At its heart, we're a research and development company, and we're going to continue to grow to meet the needs of American families and businesses and community anchor institutions long into the future.
So what is your partnership portfolio look like? Is it small ISPs, large ISPs? Is it community organizations? What is it?
And that's what's so exciting about Tarana Wireless, too, is our partners, tribal, rural, suburban, urban, are everything from literally a mom and pop trying to solve their own internet problems and growing so that they're just serving their local community to some great work that I can't tell you about.
I understand. It's okay.
With multinationals.
Oh, great.
And multi-state internet service providers, too, like, oh my gosh, Nextlink and Acklink and Element 8 and Whisper and so many others that are already multi-state using Tarana for a lot of their trickier deployments.
It's very exciting. Yeah, I like that you said we don't put anyone down to lift ourselves up. We all get lift up. Another reason I'll tell you that I was excited to talk to you is I looked over at my colleague and I was like, I want him to be my uncle. He's so cool. Just because you have a friendly way about you. You're smiling when you talk to people. Talk about yourself and your background and what brought you to what you're doing now and why you're so affable. I love it.
Jessica, you're so kind. My wife, Leslie, and I just lead a blessed life, too. We have 3 children, a 20-year-old, biologically our daughter, and a 16-year-old who we adopted at one day old, small town in Utah, and a 9-year-old son who we foster adopted at 3 months old. And, you know, when you have family and we're people of faith and caring deeply about our community, it's hard to have a bad day.
Yeah.
And with Tarana Wireless, we're making people's lives better every single day. And it's such a mission-driven company. And we're a mission-driven family. And our mission is we want to build better communities and lift others up in the process.
So I think that's wonderful and fantastic. It does mirror, I have to say, at Connected Nation, we do care about that as well. We care about adoption, access, adoption, and use. All 3 pieces, having it, understanding it, knowing how to use it, all of that. So you have a background in political science. Talk a little bit about your professional background and what led you to Tarana.
Thank you. And it's funny, too, because when I sat down with our co-founder and a group of PhDs, I looked them in the eye and said, you know, I so respect your science backgrounds, but you do know that political science is the only true science.
Fantastic.
And, they laughed in my face, too. But my background, I had the pleasure of serving as the CEO for 24 years, leading an organization that David Packard, the co-founder of Hewlett-Packard, had created.
Oh, wow.
It was consisted of 400 innovation economy CEOs, where we worked on issues that mattered as much to people, CEOs in their boardroom, as you and I in our living rooms. Traffic. Affordable homes, education, equality, environment.
Oh, wow.
Clean drinking.
That had to be really
rewarding.
Yeah.
So rewarding. And then I was so fortunate. A CEO got a call from the CEO of Tarana Wireless and said, "Hey, do you know Carl Guardino? And would you introduce me?" And had 30-minute coffee turned into a 90-minute. He had me at hello. When I heard about the technology, but equally important, the mission, the culture of the company, this is home. This is what I want to do. We want to help families around the world. I mentioned unserved and underserved. There are 55 million American families that are the unhappily served. They live in neighborhoods and communities where there's one choice of a broadband provider and one choice is no choice at all. It's not have competition. If you don't have that iron on iron of competition, then you get lazy in your products, your services, your pricing,
your innovation, all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we want to I'm a proud capitalist. We want to have competition. It's healthy. Let the best company and technology win. And I see that in Connected Nation, too, and the vital work that you're doing throughout our country.
Thank you. I'm proud of our teams, the good stuff we're doing in digital skills training, the stuff we're doing in planning, and I like that we can sometimes have disagreements with groups and it's a conversation. It's not a hate-filled thing. It's a conversation. And I appreciate that about the way we do things. Well, Carl, I got to give you a last word. What do you want people to take away about Tarana Wireless and the work you do?
I would like to offer anyone who listens to or works with Connected Nation, if you want me to fly out to your community and invest 60 minutes with me for a live technology deployment demonstration, we want you to actually experience the technology, not a slick PowerPoint for 20 minutes on a Zoom call when you're going to have 15 other Zoom calls that day.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a big decision for your family, your community, your government agency, then take the time to be discerning. And we want you to test Tarana and determine if it's going to meet your needs.
Well, I will include a link to the company website and to your LinkedIn. You have LinkedIn, I assume, in the description of this podcast to make it easy for people to find you. I really appreciate your time, and I would like you to be my Uncle Guardino. You could.
Jessica, I'd rather be your brother.
Okay, brother, let's do that. Let's do that.
Such a delight.
You are
too. The work you do.
Thank you. We'll continue our coverage from the Broadband Nation Expo on future episodes of Connected Nation. Until then, I'm Jessica Denson, and this is Connected Nation.